the ball.
Even the sound of the ball off the boot is different, isn't it?
They know every single letter of the O'Neills and they could find it with their eyes closed. They're brought up, and I was reading the programmes, and I love Cork now, and I think we did great last year, and I know you were involved with them last year, and we got quite far considering I thought we had a poor league. But like, I was reading a thing in the programme, and they were, do you know the way what's your favourite dinner? Steak. What's your favourite movie? Fucking Braveheart. They all have the same answers, do you know what I mean? Like, what bit of advice did you give? And both things were like, never stop kicking the ball off the wall. Yeah. Never stop kicking the ball off the wall. And that's the difference, I think. They only have the one sport down in Kerry, you see. Like,
it's the one, that's the
do you
thing.
know what I mean? Like, fuck them, like.
I know.
They can't play hurling, like.
I know. Sure, if everyone was playing football, it'd be the same.
It's not fair enough, like.
Yeah.
Like, we're great at everything.
Hello and welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I'm a comedian. This podcast is about my life, my wife, my likes and dislikes, hurling, football, movies, sex, drugs and rock and roll without the sex, drugs and rock and roll. There are going to be special guests and always regular contributors, but mostly it's going to be me and my main squeeze, the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I am Cornelius, and you're very welcome. We are in the Fearless Digital Network studios at an undisclosed place in Cork City. Find out if you want, but I'm not telling you. I am on today with an unbelievable guest who I'm going to bring on to the stage in a couple of minutes. But this guy now, actually, before I even bring him on, I've been texting and sending messages to this fella. I listen to his podcast all the time. He is, I think he's the highest profile guest I've ever had on this podcast. And I've had Noelle on it, my wife. So, do you know what I mean? Like, strap in. What's going on with me? Thanks for asking. I'm still on tour. I was in Dolan's last week in Limerick. It was absolutely fantastic. And then the following night, I was above in the Millennium Forum in Derry, County Derry. I don't know if you've ever been up there, lads. It's fucking class. I went on the piss in Derry then. It was unreal. Have you ever gone to piss in Derry?
I was up there last week.
Were you when? What day?
Last Sunday.
So I was there Saturday.
Last Sunday week.
Sunday week.
Just gone, yeah.
Did you go on the sauce up there?
National cross country was that?
Oh yeah, okay. So probably
meant to be here, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, but it was great. It was great. And then I was opening for Chris Kent up there, sold out. And then I was in Tullamore the next day, and then Ballylongford down in Kerry. I basically fucking did the full tour of Ireland last week, and I'm buzzing from it. I love Ireland. I love going to different cities and drinking in the cool pubs in those cities. That's one of my favourite things to do on planet Earth is drink pints in cool pubs in Ireland. And Derry has the coolest fucking pubs outside of Cork. It's like Cork in the north. I know I haven't brought you on yet. I keep looking at you. I can't help it. He's very good looking. What else is going on? I'm on the green juices. I'm back on the green juices. I had a pint of green juice this morning. Celery, ginger, fucking two other things. Fucking, what else is green? I don't know. It wasn't grass anyway. Cucumber. And they're rotten. But I haven't got sick since. So I've been on them. I'm on them 3 days now, and I feel good. I'm going to bring on the fucking guest. I'm going to bring on the guest because I'm super excited. Genuinely now, I'm very excited because this guy is an icon, a Cork icon, an Irish icon. He used to spend a lot of his days in the early 90s in Club Icon in Mallow, which was a teenage disco. But he's absolutely fantastic. He, honest to God, he's got a voice like a warm whiskey. That's what I wrote down here. It's like you got a voice like warm whiskey on a wet Wednesday. I don't know if you drink whiskey, but I didn't bring you on yet. Don't answer anything. He is killing it with his own podcast at the moment, which you should definitely check out. It's called Red Raw, with an absolutely hilarious comedian, Laura O'Mahony, as well, who's a good friend and has been on this podcast in the past in its old incarnation, long time ago. Ladies and gentlemen, without any more harsh shite altogether, I am going to bring on today's guest. It gives me the absolute greatest pleasure of my podcasting career to introduce Mr. What's your name again? Rob Heffernan! Yeah! I'm fucking delighted you're here.
Great.
I'm delighted you're here. How are you?
Great.
We've been chatting away there now for about 10 minutes beforehand. I think you're amazing. Yeah, I think you're fantastic.
I think you're great as well.
Do you? All right, that's the end of the podcast.
Time, I seen you was when I went to Laura's stand-up gig around this time a couple of years ago in the Everyman. And I was working with her on the radio, and my first thoughts were, wish she after fucking bringing someone on the stage. It was hilarious. This is going to go massively downhill afterwards.
Jesus.
'Cause I think I messaged you afterwards.
Yeah.
And you got back to me, and I was delighted. He messaged me back. But I thought you were brilliant. But then she was brilliant as well. It was the first time I saw her.
I remember that show.
But it's risky, isn't it? If you're a comedian, bringing somebody on
Do you know,
who's good beforehand.
it's a very, very good point, right? And like, I remember that show very well, but it was just after lockdown, and Laura blew the roof off
She was
the place.
unreal. She was. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I remember that moment going, fuck, I'm in over my head in the radio with this woman. She's unbelievable.
She's sensational. And do you know what was even more impressive about that for me was, like, I'm on tour now with my show at the moment, right? And I have worked it to the bone in comedy clubs. I've done work in progresses in small little places all over Ireland, and I only feel comfortable now taking it, you know, to bigger venues. Laura rehearsed at home in her sitting room for that. I remember her telling me, she was like, I just rehearsed, you know, I'm busy, I'm a busy man, you know, I don't have time. And she came out and blew the roof off. But that's just natural talent.
Yeah,
as well,
she's a genius, like,
Yeah. She genius.
She's very clever.
Don't tell her that now.
I know.
Yeah. Laura.
But she's grand.
We love you.
She's sung. She's brilliant.
She's dead on.
But that's the first time I saw you, Connie.
Yeah. First time
it's great to be here, no, like, yeah.
Well, I tell you now, the first time I saw you was, you didn't see me at all. I was watching you on the television.
Right.
Yeah, a long time ago. And you weren't running, you were walking very fast.
Yeah.
I thought you were running.
Yeah.
But you were, one foot was on the ground every time I slowed it down. I was like, is he running? No, he has 1 foot there, all right. But it's just like Cork are unreal for producing international athletes, like global superstars, like, you know, and you're there, pride and place with the greatest of the greats, the Christy Rings, the Roy Keanes, the Sonia Sullivans, the Derval O'Rourke's. I'm probably missing out on a few more, like, but you know, we definitely punch above our weight, like.
Do you know, I love that, and I know you love. I love Cork, like, and I always remember summarising. I remember training out in Spain. Remember when Ireland were beaten? It was a 7-1 or 8-1 by Spain in the European Championship qualifiers about years back. It could have been 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago.
I can't remember the exact score.
But I was coaching with a Spanish fella, and he goes, "It's normal." He says, "Ireland is amateur," and I was fucking livid, like, and I got really defensive, and I was like, "No, Paco," I said, "I'm from Cork." I says, "It's muy diferente to the rest of Irlanda." I said, "You know, we've Sonia Sullivan, Marcus O'Sullivan, world champion, Olympic medalist, world champion Sonia, Derval O'Rourke, world champion, Mark Carroll, European medalist." And I says, on top of that, Roy Keane, Dennis Irwin, without the rugby boys, O'Gara, Jimmy Barry Murphy, who wouldn't have making a name out in Spain. But we've so many good examples of greatness, and it normalises being great. And then when you start coming up and you start meeting these people, I think it gives you a lift.
Who is the person that you've met in your life that you're like, I can't fucking believe I'm standing next to Jimmy Barry Murphy?
I I hate that word, Sonia, and I'm very good friends with her now. Like, we're really good friends now, but she was just brilliant. I
honestly think that's a cool answer. Chris Kent is my one.
Really?
Yeah. Because to me, Chris was a massive hero, and I couldn't believe that I'm sharing the stage, or that I was hanging out with him, or that I'm friends with him.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, because, you know, you would have met loads of different people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And tell me, were you nervous the first time you met Sonia then? There
was still a nervousness, even when I was on TV with her at the start. You're nearly, you feel like Father Ted chatting to your one with the book. Do you know, in that episode, you're trying to pretend you're normal, but you're nervous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember her, like, my first memories of her, I remember her coming into the village in Sydney, and she nearly had an entourage with her because she was a bit separate to the team. And the irony of it now is when she's going on about other athletes, like, she was a separate entity to the team, but she was so professional, and she didn't mix with the unclean, and the unclean were all Olympians. And it was like going, you know, it was my first kind of visual of somebody who was a real global superstar at the time. And then when you get to know her, then, you know, they're normal.
Sure, we're all normal, aren't we?
Yeah, all normal.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, a global superstar came into my head there when you were saying that she was a global superstar back then. Like,
she was.
She really was. Like, you know, like known in any country across the globe, you know?
Yeah.
I have a few questions for you, Rob, right? And but before we get into the questions, I'd like to play a game called, are you ready?
The pressure's on here now.
Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. Sponsored by nobody yet.
Right.
No one come in to sponsor that yet. I can't believe it. Would you like a drink of water? You can have a drink of water if you want.
Sure, I love it.
There's no
I'll
panic
tip
there
away.
now. So this game, Rob, right? For those of you out there who do not know what this game is I go online during the day.
Okay.
And I see what's trending, and I'm kind of going, okay, that might be a conversation starter. That might be a conversation starter. Usually they're just words.
Okay.
And we kind of go. Now this could fall flat on its
Right,
face.
yeah.
This podcast could be like, we're 9 minutes in, it could be all over
We
in
could
10
be done
minutes.
in a few minutes. Okay.
Hashtag savings.
Oh,
Savings. Are you good at saving?
do you know what now? I work as a financial youth advisor in Bank of Ireland.
You're probably good at savings.
But you
Imagine
know,
if you were like, nah.
But you know what? It stemmed from not having money when I was younger. So I was born into flats in Toker. So my life, like I grabbed every opportunity in my life coming up, and a big part of my life that kind of stifled my success was a lack of money. So I remember I went to Sydney. When I went to my first Olympics in Sydney, imagine plasterer's son, my mum's a housewife, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to be made now. And sure, after Sydney, like any normal fella, imagine we went up the Gold Coast, we went to Fraser Island, a fucking great time, blew all our money, like. And I always remember being in a hostel in Brisbane, one night, and I had $20 left in my pocket. No money, and we went out and bought beer out of it, like. But it's pure when you're around, imagine being around other Olympic athletes at 21, 22 years of age, and sure, it's no different to being in rough areas, and you're with the gang. You could justify it because, sure, he's running the Olympics, he's brilliant, he's national champion, and we used to be fucking robbing food out of the fridge in the hostel, like. Yeah. And after coming from the Olympic Village, so I remember coming back from there, I remember having like a moment going, if I fucking stay here, I'm not going to be an athlete anymore. And rang my mum, she got me a ticket, she got money out of the credit union, and I came home, trained really hard all that winter, and I wrote to the guy who won the Olympics in Sydney, Robert Korjanowski. And we all have hang-ups about stuff when we're younger, like I'd thinking I was small, didn't have much money, came from a working class area, got a picture with Robert and he was fucking smaller than me, and he's after winning 3 Olympics.
You're very tall anyway.
Yeah. But you know, he rang me and he invited me to go to South Africa training with him, and I had no money.
What's his surname?
Robert Korjanowski. He's won 4 Olympics.
4 Olympics?
Yeah, he's a legend in Poland now. Is there any Polish people in the room?
Any of you Polish lads?
No.
It's gone on their heads now, yeah.
So
He
was a 20 and 50k walker. He was world record holder, won loads of European titles, world titles. He's a big star in Poland, even though he'd be as well known in Poland as Roy Keane would be here, or Sonia.
Okay.
So I threw everything on my Visa card, and I went to South Africa, came back, and all of that first part of my career, I was fucking stone broke, but I wouldn't tell anyone, and things were really, really hard. And I remember 2005, I'm in the World Championships in Helsinki, Visa cards maxed out, credit union loan, and I'm in 7th place in World Championships in Helsinki, and I see Luke Adams from Australia, he's 30 seconds behind me, 2.5k to go, and I'm going, fuck it, all I have to do, if I get over the finish line here, my grant will go up to 20,000 euros. My coaching money will go up to 10 grand, so that's 30. I'll win 8 grand for finishing 7th. I'll be 38 grand richer. My bills are only 8 grand, which were astronomical at the time because I had no access to cash, and I'll have over 30 grand. I'll have 30 grand for myself, and I got disqualified. And it was absolutely devastating. It was so fucking devastating at the time because no, I don't have any funding. Not a life that I was
disqualified for.
Technique. You know, yeah. So and the thing is, we'll come to it, but I was disqualified anyway, right? My technique was bad. I deserved to get disqualified.
Okay.
And I was disqualified.
Which is worse, actually. You prefer if it was a fucking...
Yeah, I wasn't strong enough because you're not able to do all of the right stuff because of finances and money. You're not able to go on the camps where you're meant to go. And then when you go on a camp, you're doing way too much and your body breaks down. And then I raced and broke down. And I was back working on a building site with my brother. And I remember some of the Saturdays, my brother-in-law, I was delivering coal with him, and we had nothing. So when you go to Sevens, me and Marion had nothing. Like, we used to have to bring the rubbish. We were renting a house in Monkstown. We used to bring the rubbish. She was working in Duns, and we used to bring it down to Marion's mum's house once a week. And I missed the next year. I had double hernia. But when I got a second chance again, and when I got healthy and I got the injuries fixed, I was like going, no, fuck this. I can't be like my dad would have gone, Robert's after going to 2 Olympic Games and he's walking around the roads like a fool without a pot to piss in. And part of it he was right. And my brother knows after doing a trade, he's a qualified plasterer, he's after buying a house, he's driving a fucking Lexus, and Robert, who's after going to a load of championships, is nothing. So when I got the second chance, I organically started putting away a little. And when that accumulated, I was able to get a lot more organised in my year. I was able to invest more in my year. And when I was able to invest more in my year, the results got better. Very similar to when you have a podcast. Like even with me and Laura, the more finances come in, you can invest more in it. Then the reach gets better. My results got better. I attracted sponsors. They would invest money and I just put money away. And when I won the World Championships in 2013, I bought my house outright. I didn't even have a mortgage. So imagine coming, like living in a council house, buying a house with no mortgage.
You have no mortgage on your house?
I bought a bigger house then. I'm living in Blackrock now, and the boys call it Marrock because I'm on the border of Blackrock and Mahon. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't care. I can mix in both words. It's fine. But yeah, you had no mortgage, like.
That is.
But fuck it. Then I went away and bought a bigger house. But I don't have a big mortgage. But no, so I'd be very passionate, and I don't give a fuck where you come from, or if you're a doctor's son, or if you're going to be fucking cleaning toilets. I don't care. If you have the discipline to do it, like sport or anything else, it does accumulate. And I think when you see the results, you're going to be more frugal in ways.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So no, I that's gas. No, you asked me that, and that wasn't preempted, was it?
I asked you before. Do you want to know what the words are? You said no. I didn't.
No, I don't want to know.
Honestly, God. Yeah. And it's like you're talking about being broke, right? Because I like obviously I don't have any Olympic medals now or World Championship medals. Now what I do have, and you don't have it yourself, is an under 16 senior Cork medal, right? Hurling against Anrail, 6 points, 4 from play, whatever, right? But if you want to swap, we can talk afterwards.
It's all relevant, like.
But with my kind of journey, we'll say in comedy, I was so broke for so long, and not that I'm fucking flush now or anything, but like I mean, there was a time where I used to do this, right? I'd go to Tesco and I'd get the trolley out, and I'd walk into Tesco and I'd be fucking putting in all the shopping for the week, and I'd go up to the deli and I'd get, a couple of sausage rolls and a sausage sandwich, and I'd fucking fill the trolley up and I'd eat the sausage rolls and eat the sandwich and just leave everything then and walk out the door. Because I didn't have enough money to buy food.
Yeah.
Like this is going back. This is going back before I married now. Like before I had any kid. Like, and I was trying my best to be a comedian. Yeah. Couldn't get booked. No one would book me. I tried to run my own nights. Fucking 7 people would turn up. You'd be like absolute. I remember I was on the back to work scheme for 2 years, the kind of a dole thing.
Yeah, I remember.
And it ran out after 2 years, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do?
I know.
How am I going to fucking feed myself?
Yeah.
I bought a house when I was young.
Did you ever feel that you were going to be homeless? Like if something went wrong, that you were a step away? I was living in an apartment in Newingham Terrace in Cork, and I can remember seeing the winos across on the street, and I was like, I'm fucking not far away from that. Like, do you know, if I had no family in Cork or nothing, like, I'm so I'm closer
there's a loneliness
to that than
in it, like.
There was, yeah.
And there's a fear in it, and there's a shame in it.
There is a shame in it, and you don't talk about it.
No, you don't.
You know?
And the thing is, as well, is like what's cool, right, to see is you like when you get with you now, we'll say, or even with myself, like it's easy to go. It's very easy to stop then and go, do you know what? Fuck this. I'll just get a job. I'll just go work with my dad selling cars, or I'll go driving cars there, or
You'd be depressed.
But I've seen it happen in different little different ways down through the years. Lads with way more talent than me, and they've just crippled under the pressure of family pressure now, what your parents
society's
might think.
norms. Yeah.
And it's sad. And I was shit with money as well for a long time. I definitely think I'm better with money now as well.
Yeah, I was the same. Yeah.
But like, I don't, like Noelle, my wife now, would fucking spend it like faster than it comes in the door, like, do you know what I mean? There's no problem there, like I'm trying to hide it from her. I prefer to give it to the winos across the street, because like, do you know, like, but I don't know how you feel now about this, but I love having it there that she can do that, like, and that my kids get what they need. They're not spoiled, but they
Yeah.
get what they're
No,
able
it's
to get.
lovely.
Do you know that kind of way?
I remember
after being there.
I was after being exactly. I remember there's a couple of athletes in our club. Originally, family came from Nigeria, so imagine came over here.
So your family?
No,
originally
not
from
my
Nigeria?
family from Nigeria, but this family, right? And moved obviously a council estate down in Middleton. It'd be like our life in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now they're after coming through. Obviously, the kids were born into Ireland, and the 3 kids in the house. One's a dentist, one's a doctor, and one's a pharmacist. And I can remember saying to one, I said, she's qualified pharmacist, now she's doing locum work. And I turned around. And nobody was there because they're black and, we won't say, lovely fucking people, like. But I always relate to kind of the blacks who are living here are like us in the 80s who didn't have money. And I remember, I goes, I'm not going to say her name. We'll call her Michelle.
All right.
Michelle.
Obama.
From Lake. And I said, come here. I says, when you've grown up not having a lot of money, isn't it lovely to have some now? And her face lit up. She says, oh, Rob, it's brilliant. But I said, but no, when you have it coming in, you have to manage it.
You have to mind it.
You have to mind it, and you need to have a plan with it. And but it was lovely to say it, you know, and I chat to the kids about that. So I had to go back and do my financial exams at the bank. I got offered a job with Bank of Ireland to be like a youth advisor. And I met Liam Sheedy, and the role was great because you're in chatting to the kids about CV and interviews and financial literacy and investing and stuff and business. And he said, how would you be if you had to go back and do your exam? And I fucking hated school. Like, all I wanted to do was be out playing football, out running. Like my Wednesday would have entailed like training with Nemo, coming home from Nemo, going to my athletics club and training on the track, coming back from that and going to Taekwondo. Then at night time it was just sport all day long. And I said to him, I goes, do you know what? I said, I've been to 5 Olympics and I've been through the highs and the lows. After that, I went into Dancing with the Stars, and I was so bad at the start. I was like somebody who had a stroke, and I thought I was going to win the show because I was able to work so hard. And then even going into scenarios like going onto the radio, I said, I know that was afterwards, but I goes, I know if I put my mind to something and if I want it, I'll do well. But saying that at the time, I felt like I was lying, because when I had to go back to do the exams then, it was like going, no, this is the one that's definitely going to catch out. You're going to be caught out now. There's no hiding now. You're not bright, you're stupid. And it's like, but it didn't matter if it was athletics or the fucking dancing, going back doing that, going onto the radio. You always have that fucker on your shoulder who you have to shut him up, you know? So when I go back...
How do you shut him up?
Nearly having it evidence-based, like going, no, I've gone through loads of stuff before, you know, loads of hard things, but it still doesn't mean that it's easy. Do you know, like when these fuckers talking about resilience and positivity, and it's still fucking hard. It all depends your frame of mind, really, like.
It's like, no, you're spot on. I was just visiting my grandmother there before you came in, and I was talking to my aunt, and we were just talking about positivity. Or sorry, I was talking to my uncle and my aunt. We were talking about positivity, and we were talking about my grandmother, who's a really positive person all her life, 92 years old, super positive. And I was like, Jesus, I have to really work hard at being positive.
Yeah.
I work every day at it. I do affirmations. I try and have a positive frame of mind, because I think I'm naturally predisposed to being kind of, how the fuck that cunt. Do you know that kind of way? Like, how the fuck him? Who the fuck is it? Fuck him.
I have a buddy of mine, fuck him, fuck him, fuck it, fuck that.
Yeah. And it's just like fucking, but we're, as opposed to, like, if you were American, you'd be like, well, wow, fair play. Fair play, Rob. 5 Olympics. Wow. Good for you, sir. Yeah. You know? And it's like, it's just the Irish mentality, but like, it's mad with the savings, man. That like, so how much have you in your current account now at the moment?
So that's the answer. That was good. No, that's a good start.
That was a great start, man. That was a great start.
I'm going to be gone there in 5 minutes.
Fuck's sake, we're
like a fucking exam in school.
Over. I haven't got no questions yet. Hashtag. And this is a word that came up, right? And it's a kind of a divisive word, right? But the reason that I picked it is because I saw an article about it yesterday that I read. Hashtag depopulation. Right. I'll start, right? Depopulation. Did you see that article?
Is it in relation to areas in the country where they're amalgamating GA?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
In Kerry. There's
Kerry.
a scenario in Kerry at the
South
moment where
Kerry.
they're trying to amalgamate 4 teams to make it one senior club.
My wife is from Waterville down there, and I've been to the South Kerry Championship.
And you know, my competitive instincts, I was only half listening to it. I was like, go fucking Kerry are getting weaker now. Fuckers.
They're not.
You know, they're not. Is it going to make them stronger?
No, they're not. The
Okay.
bollocks.
No, they're not. And then you're just like, they're too crafty. They wouldn't be leaving any weaknesses out on the airwaves.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's still a religion down there, but they're. It's just that there is. I was at the North Kerry senior football final this weekend, and I'd say there was about 6,000 or 7,000 people at it in Ballylongford.
Go away.
Between Knocknagoshel, who are a junior club, against Listowel Emmets, who are a senior club. They do this competition in South Kerry and North Kerry. I don't know if they do it in the other parts of Kerry as well. They throw every team into the pot, junior B to senior.
Okay.
It's fucking amazing, Rob.
Right.
It's amazing. Knocknagoshel now are a village. They had 17 players tagged out for the semi-final. They had 19 for the final. They drew the final against Listowel Emmets. They had about 35. I was watching the warm-ups. I make videos for all these matches, you know. And the football that was being played down there, like we'll talk about this. I have a few questions about this later on. I love football, I love hurling, I love soccer, I love sports, I love athletics, I love all sports. But I have a real graw for the Cork football team, all right? And from back in the day, going to see them playing 89, 90s.
In the same, I have a massive fan. Like, I can remember John Kearns, Mick Slocum, Larry Tompkins, Shea Fahey, John Cleary's 2
penalties
Barry,
against Dublin.
Teddy McCarthy.
Yeah, all the boys. Like,
all of them, like.
Yeah,
Stephen
Danny
O'Brien,
Connolly,
Tony Nation.
Mark O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what like, unbelievable footballers. Yeah. Like, Dave Barry scored a goal against Bayern Munich.
He was unreal, wasn't he?
He was unbelievable. He played for Cork City. Teddy McCarthy was a dual star. He's the only hurler and footballer of all time
to win the double.
And to win a dual All-Star in the same year.
Yeah. Was he dual All-Star?
Dual All-Star in the same year.
Because I had the posters on my wall.
Yeah, my favourite was John Fitzgibbon, the Cork corner forward, the hurler.
Yeah, I remember.
I fucking loved him. Like,
some hurler, wasn't it?
Oh, what a ground hurling back in the day. Back
Mark
in the day.
Foley, John Fitzgibbon,
he scored,
Tony O'Sullivan.
Do you remember Mark Foley scored like 2-11 again was it against Tipperary or something in a Munster final one year? Did you go to?
Was he a dentist or something? What did he work as?
I don't know, but he was very tall.
He was huge,
very tall and bald, with kind of weird, kind of black hair. But I used to be like, I want to be Mark Foley. He was from like
the top of the eight.
Like I'm known to talk. Like I'm known to talk. Look at that, lad. Fucking hell. Like Mark Palestine. Foley. Let's fucking
Tomas Mulcahy.
Tomas Mull. Yeah. Oh my God. Tony Nation. You said Tony.
Brendan O'Sullivan. Remember him?
No.
He was from down in the Shannon way.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
John O'Driscoll. Do you remember John?
I know him. Yeah.
Fucking hell. I don't know.
Some lep in him, didn't he?
Oh, he was pretty Ballingeary, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was Ballingeary. But I love Cork football. But I was at this match last week, and honestly, like, it was a replay. First of all, Knocknagoshel came back from 10 points to catch them the week before to get a replay, and then it was a replay, so it was like nearly double the crowd at it. But they just played the game differently, man. They kicked the ball way more than Cork kicked the ball.
Even the song of the ball off the boot is different, isn't it?
They know every single letter of the O'Neills, and they could find it with their eyes closed. They're brought up, and I was reading the programmes, and I love Cork now, and I think we did great last year, and I know you were involved with them last year, and we got quite far considering I thought we had a poor league. But like, I was reading a thing in the programme, and they were, do you know the way what's your favourite dinner? Steak. What's your favourite movie? Fucking Braveheart. They all have the same answers, do you know what I mean? What bit of advice did you give? And both things were like, never stop kicking the ball off the wall. Yeah. Never stop kicking the ball off the wall. And that's the difference, I think. They only have the one sport down in Kerry, you see. Like,
it's the one, that's the
thing.
Do
you know what I mean? Like, fuck them, like.
I know.
They can't play hurling, like.
I know. Sure, if everyone was playing football, it'd be the same.
It's not fair enough, like. Yeah. Like, we're great at everything. Yeah.
Don't like empowering these fuckers now either, so I'm not going to say much.
Well, I love Kerry because my main sponsor is from Kerry.
Right.
Cronin Cider, shout out. So lovely to drink. Hashtag Pope.
Pope?
Yeah, the Pope was trending today.
Was he?
Yeah.
For what?
Don't know.
No, I don't know.
He's around the place. No. Fucking trending the bollocks. Going around with his fucking hat.
Right, no, I know fuck all about that one.
Are you religious?
I had to go to mass with I had to go to mass with the with the kids on Saturday night because my Regan's making her confirmation. Okay. But my 10-year-old was telling me stop messing, like. I couldn't fucking stop messing. And it was
Your
there.
10-year-old was telling you.
10-year-old, she was like, will you please stop?
What were you doing?
I just gets fierce fucking giddy, like. And then we ended up the front of the church, like. And the priest, when we went in, he's in Blackrock. Looks like, remember Todd Unctious and Father Ted? His head is bald, and he's looking, and he's all of the energy. And he actually wasn't a priest at all. He was only a pretend priest, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I just fucking gets fierce giddy in that setting, like.
Yeah.
But I don't go to. I'd be a bit I am spiritual. I like to think that there's something afterwards.
Yeah.
You know.
When
and my girls, my Marion said to the girls the other day, she said, I don't believe in God. And I said, fucking Mar, stop saying that to him. She's dead serious. Like, she goes, I don't. And I do. Like, I'd have always blessed myself before I raised. I'd like to think that there's something else there.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't go to mass and stuff. And
I don't think you need to go to mass though, either, to be religious. Do you know, to be spiritual even.
yeah.
Like, I definitely don't think you need to be. I don't know if the Pope goes to mass much. Maybe that's why he's trending. He's taking it off.
Yeah.
You know? I think that concludes.
Did you getting giddy in mass?
I'll tell you, I have a love-hate relationship with religion, right? When I grew up, I wanted to be the Pope, actually. I'm actually serious. When I was about 7 or 8, my grandmother used to ask me what, and I was like the Pope, like I'd like to be the Pope, the first Irish Pope. And I used to go to mass with my grandmother the whole time. And I have a medal on there, an Immaculate Mary medal on that my mother-in-law gave me. And I have actually started to come back to religion,
Right.
in a weird way there in the last maybe 6 months, just with a few things that have happened in my life. And we're talking about gratitude there earlier on before we came on, and it kind of stems from that. And I'm kind of like yourself. I don't know, is there a man with
I don't know.
looking down going, yeah, you're grand, you can come in, do you know, that kind of way. But I do think that there has to be something there, and I do feel better when I give thanks and praise.
I think there's no harm if that there's good messages there anyway.
Yeah.
It keeps you on track of it. Like,
Yeah.
not that I'm going to go back there.
Did you get the Holy Communion?
I did, and I said,
Did you take
Tara,
the
we
tongue
got
out
it.
of the hand?
I says, you have to say a prayer after that, no? Because when we went, my daughter Tara made her communion a couple of years ago, and Regan made hers obviously before that. She's in 6th class now. And the last time she got Holy Communion was at her own communion. So when we were at the communion mass, she went up to get the fucking communion. And the, what are they called? The fuckers
host?
who handed out. Like,
Or the priests?
Not the priest, the
Eucharistic minister.
They handed her.
I can't believe I knew that.
Actually, she took it off him and she said, thank you. And I said, Reeks, you can't. You have to say amen, like. So, but
The body of Christ,
Body
thank
of
you.
Christ, thank you. She took it off,
Oh,
and I was
God,
like, oh
Lord.
no. So I got it. But what about the gluten-free host now? Like,
That's
there's a
the new one,
gluten-free
yeah.
host.
Yeah.
But I was saying to Tara the other night, I go, I still remember being in mass when we were younger. And I don't know, it was a half because you'd be fucking starving as well in the 80s. I remember getting Holy Communion 7 times in one mass. Like, you'd be going around to all of the different fellas with the lads. But I don't know, just mad stuff. Like,
If I knew about it
But
back in the day, I wouldn't have got to Tesco at all. I would have just gone around to different masses.
It's nice though. I brought back the memories.
You're
I
not
did go up.
You're not supposed to bite it then as well.
No, you let it
Yeah, dissolve in your mouth,
dissolve in the
yeah.
tongue. Like, say a few
Yeah.
prayers. And
Yeah, did you say a few
I
prayers?
did.
Do you what's the prayer for after Holy Communion? Reason I ask is because I was at a wedding recently and I got the host as well. I got it on the tongue though, because I was just like, I just kind of fancied having it on my tongue.
Did ya?
I
Yeah.
normally get it on the hands.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I was just
yeah,
like, body of Christ, and I was like, Amen. I was trying to say amen, but get the tongue out at the same time. And he put it on my tongue, and then I went up, but I couldn't remember what the prayer was.
yeah, I just said in Our Father, I think. Yeah.
He'd probably
Or
be
when
alright.
we were singing Our Father in Irish as well, they were singing it, and I was fucking singing it under my breath. The small one was going mad. Or nahar, tahar, nav, garnefer, danim, and she was stop it.
I love the next part.
I was delighted. I remembered it, like.
Can you sing the national anthem? Do you know all the words to the national
I
anthem?
don't.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I know of the start of it.
Yeah,
And
I
when
don't.
it gets to Short of Connie.
I sang it there one morning on fucking when I was on the radio, but I had the words in front of me, like.
It's good now that they have the words at the stadiums as well, like, because it's a shameful thing.
It is a shameful thing, yeah.
It's something I want to
It's not
try and learn.
proud of, like, yeah.
Yeah, because I'd be like, I do this because like people be watching me sometimes at matches, like, because I go around to a lot of the matches and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
sure, I'd see ya.
And I'd be trying to sing the national anthem, and I'd be like belting out the first 6 or 7 lines, and then I'm very busy then for the rest of it. Very busy for the rest of it, taking videos. It is definitely something that I want to address.
Yeah, you should know the national anthem. Like,
yeah. Much to my shame, I don't. Rob, that concludes trending topics with Cornelius.
A B minus, a B plus.
Considering that was your first go, You're getting an A on that one. You're getting an A on that. Savings saved us as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
You know, ironically. I'm delighted to have you on. I've got a few questions. Just for those in the world that don't know about you, there might be one or two. Rob is an amazing human being, a father, a husband, a podcaster. But you're probably best known as one of Ireland's elite athletes. You've been to 5 Olympics. You won a bronze in 2012 in the London Olympics. Your first medal was in the year before that, wasn't it?
In bronze from Barcelona. 2010, yeah.
And I have a question that will come up in a minute, and I can't wait to hear the answer to it. But I think what was potentially could have been the best of all was when you won the gold in Moscow the following year after the Olympics, especially after what happened in the Olympics. Have I left anything out?
No.
They're the 3 major...
Probably the 3 major,
medals. You've won loads of medals, obviously.
Yeah, but
they're the 3 major ones. So my first question is, describe your life today as a 47-year-old man. You're a 47-year-old man. Those heady days are gone. You get up in the morning. What did you have for your breakfast this morning now, Rob, as a matter of interest?
A bit of toast and a coffee. Yeah.
Butter?
Butter, yeah.
Real butter?
Kerrygold, always.
Yes.
Yeah. Always
Okay.
Kerrygold.
Just the 1 slice?
2.
Black coffee, milk in the coffee, fancy coffee?
AeroPress, tiny bit of sugar, bit of milk. Yeah.
And that keeps you motoring till?
I'll do that then obviously I've my bank job. So I've look after up to 40 schools in Cork. So in my head, I'm grand when I'm doing stuff, probably being organised and getting everything planned out is probably a harder struggle for me. But I like going in chatting to the kids. So that's my day job. I have the podcast. I'm doing the podcast with Laura, Red Raw. I love that. Probably something I'd love to be doing full time. I set up an athletics club 3 years ago then I'm living in Blackrock, wherever you want to call it. So we train in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and similar passion, like we train in Páirc Uí Chaoimh on a Wednesday night at 5 o'clock, and I've modelled the Cork City singlet off the Cork GA jersey from 1990. Yes. The same red, that yellow in the crest. It's an iconic top, and in 3 years we've nearly 400 members. And the first night, so that's my biggest passion now. First night we went down training, I had 8 coaches, 8 good guys, fucking really good guys, good jobs, good crack, could be professional, but no bullshit, And 2 athletes turned up down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Wow. And I was fucking. And I'm going home with Marion, and she's going, we should have done something different. And I'm fucking deflated now, you know what I mean? Could be thinking of coming back into Patrick Street after winning the medal, and Cork is full. Stage outside Soho, 2 turned up. So fucking Cork hates me. And she said, I said, what? She said, we should have split up the group. I said, fuck off, now it's too soon, But then we started getting a bit more strategic about it, and it just started growing. And yeah, she's a fucker, so I'm bet down at home all the time.
Marion, your wife, was a fantastic athlete.
She ran in the Olympics in London as well.
Yeah.
And she was my coach afterwards, and yeah. So yeah, that's it. So and then the kids, sure, all of the kids are doing sport, so it's sport, it's coaching, training. There's something every day.
You're still heavily involved in sport.
Yeah.
And you were with the Cork footballers as well last year, and you were with them for a couple of years.
I was with them for 3 years,
So that's kind of it. So you're kind of you're in your job during the week. You're doing your podcast. This is your passion with you'd love to grow them to be obviously, Yeah,
I think ultimately, I loved me and Laura will have the podcast. And we could do, have that full time. We'll be doing gigs similar to yourself. Yeah. We'll bring you on our one now as well.
Yeah.
And I love the sport, because it's given me such a good life, and the talent that we have in the club already. Like we went to the Munster Championships only yesterday, and we were the most successful club from Cork, and we were joint most successful club in all of Munster. And I just think it's after bringing energy to it and bringing people in from outside athletics. Could be somebody like you who loves sport and they have fresh ideas. They're not infected by the politics, or they don't know the politics of it, and we drive on and do what we have to do and have a bit of crack with the kids. And I ultimately think that's what life is, having fucking a bit of crack, But when there's a time to work, there's a time to work. But afterwards, you have to have crack as well, because that's what you remember going home.
Yeah.
You know, instead of the fuckers giving out to you, do this, do that, and ultimately they don't fucking know anything. Do you know?
Nearly always.
Yeah.
Anyone who's given out has a problem with themselves.
Yeah. So I love having, like, me and my buddy Pa were training down in a school there the other week, a fucking mad school now, like, mad characters in it. I was like, boys, right, we're going to do a session here, it's going to last 40 minutes, right? I says, I don't fucking care if he burned the school down earlier. And Pat came in, Pat's man taking off the travellers, like he is one as well. But he says, I'll give you the petrol, boys, it's no bother. But you defuse them all, and then you have them for that 40 minutes. And then, inadvertently, then they won't burn the school down because we told them to do it. So, do you know what I mean?
Reverse psychology.
So, but it's like, oh, lads, I love having a laugh as well, but we fucking need to work now.
Yeah.
Do you know? So I'm a bit like that, like I'll drag my hole out the run even every day, because I feel happier afterwards.
Do you love being involved with teams?
I loved being involved with Cork when I got to know the lads. Yeah. And it's slow because they're very slow to let people in.
Yeah. Sure, they
and they're the best. They're the best. Honestly, like John Cleary, Kevin Walsh, all of the lads, the backroom team. They're as honest a crew that I've ever met. And when I be reading the shit afterwards and reading what fuckers be writing in the papers and in the Examiner, and it's like, you're fucking so far off the mark with what's going on, because these guys, like, the commitment and the meetings, and like, there's so much involved. And I do think, like, I'm not with them this year, but I do think they're so close. I just think there's going to be a moment, and hopefully they'll just explode, and they'll come through. But I enjoyed it, and when you get to know them, and I was down in MTU now training my own club on Saturday, and I seen the lads there, and you'd miss them, like, you know.
I was involved, not with Cork, with a slightly higher profile team, the Ballyclad Junior Blues, and well, look, you laugh, but we got to the North Cork final, right? And we'd be like yourselves now. We took it very seriously. The main rule for the year was there was no training. Right, that was the main rule. But we had great crack in the dressing room, and it was obviously now I'm being facetious, like it's totally different to what you're doing. But the crack in the dressing room, I think, is very important, but you have to have a
sacrosanct, isn't it?
I love dressing rooms, man.
It's the purest place. Do you know, when we're in the normal world and say I'm working in the bank, or if I was working, say, you know, with an Irish team, like, you never see the real people, like you're representing a brand, or the dressing room, when you've fellas in there,
when you're in a dressing room,
really, it's the most honest. It's fucking great. It's pure. Very emotional. Like, coming away from them games in Parky, you'd be fucking depressed after it. Like.
Oh, sure. I could only imagine. I was coming away depressed and I wasn't involved. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so down, like, and you'd have fellas on, and I'd have having fellas on to me. And I think the thing with the GA, it's so ingrained in the fabric of our society. There's no escaping the emotion and the attachment to people, to the lads. Whereas a professional footballer or a professional athlete, they're removed from it.
And it's kind of harder for the footballers as well.
It's hard.
Way, because, like, and I know this is a kind of a silly observation, but like, there's a lot of anonymous. You can be quite anonymous and be a hurler because of the helmet.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
out, like Brian O'Driscoll's a great example there now. Like, he's got a head that you definitely would recognise.
Yeah, you'd recognise.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, just to get back to the dressing rooms, like, it doesn't matter actually. I would imagine, I've never been into a high profile dressing room like yourself, but I've been in lots of different types of dressing rooms with different teams down through the years. On the day of a championship match, a do or die match, and you're inside in the dressing room, and there's the 15 lads that are starting and the 10 lads that are chomping at the bit to come on, and the physio and the banish door and the couple of selectors, and you're in there, and there's about 4 or 5 minutes before you're going out, and someone stands up, and it mightn't be the banish door, it might be the corner back, or it might be and they stand up and they say, and you can just, there's a deafening silence. I cannot get enough of those moments in my life. Even last year, even this year now, when we lost the Mitchells on the final, we came back into the dressing room afterwards, and I know, because it was Junior B, a third of the team were in their 40s, they're never ever going to play again. They just came back for the crack this year, and it was mighty crack. I could see people not trying to stay on as long as they could possibly be inside in that dressing room because they knew once you go out that door,
it's gone.
It's different.
Yeah, you're right. And like I see, like, John Cleary, he comes across as like a quiet reserve man, but his passion and his love for sport and his speeches in the dress, like he'd have the hair standing up in the back of your neck, like you'd be fucking ready to go through a wall. And I think sport has changed it because you have to be professionally prepared now as well. But he's just he's a great man. He loves it, like he loves it, and it's as honest in there, like and like even when you see the fucking like and the interviews, even you're watching the Premier League and everything is fake. Radio fake.
It's all fake.
Everything is fake. Yeah. But it's so real, and I think that's what I enjoyed about it most, the realness. Like when you're sitting next to, you know, Frank Hogan at the games, and he gives a fuck for nothing. You know what I mean? Like he was on 96 FM there last year. They were at some awards, and he was live on stage, and they ran about his Cork football medal that he won in 1976, I think. And they said, "You've only the one football medal, Frank." And he goes, "One football medal's worth 4 hurling medals." He says, "Oh, fucking hell." You know? Says Frank, I fucking can say it.
Well, there's a small bit of, I don't know, like it's just,
I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but that's the passion that they have.
It's very hard for Cork to be successful in football. We were lucky. We grew up in the late 80s and 90s when we were
spoiled, weren't
with both teams.
And I played with Nemo back then as well.
Did you play with Nemo?
Yeah. I played with Nemo until I was minor. Like,
did you play? What position did you play?
Half forward. Yeah.
I'd say you would have been good wiry.
So I was captain in Nemo under 16.
Were you?
Yeah. So I was only football growing up.
Yeah.
And like even when I was running, like it was like, I'll only run to stay fit for football. And sure, by the time you get the minor then and you realise you're only 5'8" and fucking 8 stone.
That's very tall though. Right? Very tall.
And you go down another. But yeah, I loved football growing up, like.
And were you a scorer?
Oh yeah. I'd have been top scorer with my name as well.
You lost fucking Cork football, so like the Olympic medal, like.
I know Billy Morgan saying that to me one time. We were down in the garage in Douglas, and he's like, "Heffo, you would have been a great." I says, "Billy, I'm fucking 9 stone. Like,
if I knew, I would have brought you into the Ballyclaw Junior B's this year.
We'd have put you on protein or whatever." He's like, "No, but I was a distance athlete, like, you know."
Did you ever consider, you know, when you retired, going, do you know the way some players do, like they'll go back and they'll play a bit of GAA and stuff like that, or was that just kind of when you retired you were like, that's it?
I did a charity game up in Crow Park, and with Tomás O'Leary, you know, was on the team with me, and Sean Og the same day, and I loved it, like. And then I wanted to go back, but then, you know,
it's harder when you're older as well.
Yeah, you get injured quick, like
our first game this year, we 5 lads had to come off before half time with hamstrings. They were all in their 40s.
Yeah.
And that was just the way it is, like, you know.
Yeah. It's not. I say it's not even the age. I say when you're having points after games and stuff, sure, your body doesn't recover for days.
And before games as well.
Do you know, that's the thing, like, I'd love to do it, but then when I have a few points at the weekend, you'd have no motivation. No. You know your head's not right for competition.
And
like, I'd have to be all or nothing, do you know, and then it's like, fuck it, no, relax, Rob, do you know what I mean?
And I suppose you did enough.
I did enough, yeah.
That brings me on now to my second question. Lovely, well answered first question, 10 out of 10. It's keeping the A going. Second part of the question, or question 2. So the first one was, describe your life as a 47-year-old man. Describe your life as 20 years ago as a 27-year-old man.
Oh.
Comparison. Were you having 2 slices of toast and a cup of coffee?
No, you can eat as much as you want when you're training because you're doing up to 100 miles a week. But when I look back I was at Derval O'Rourke got inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Athletic Ireland Awards last week, and I was up there as one of her guests because we're really good friends. And you're looking at the room and the people who you've encountered when you were in your 20s, when you were an athlete. Like, I gave a fuck for no one, like, and I'd have been very headstrong about wanting to get stuff done. And I suppose, like, the life that I lived at home when I trained in Poland with Robert Korjanowski, and I seen the way that it had to be done right. And, like, even if you look at the Russians, and obviously the Russians are all done for doping, you take the doping away from Russia, Connie, and they're doing fucking 10 times more than what the Irish athletes. They're getting better now that what they were doing, or the federation. These fellas would fucking, they'd eat you without salt. And then
the doping was just that little bit extra.
It was a little bit extra for them, and it wasn't their choice. It's a government thing. But these fellas, there was like going, like, I fell into race walk and I went to Closh Crease 3. I thought I was a good footballer. I got offered a running scholarship when I was a junior. I got introduced to race walking in Crease 3, so fell on that as a whim, and I went to a European Championships, and I kept I'd have been a very visual learner, and I'm the same now practically, so I'd go away and I'd see fucking, like, growing up in Cork, And when you're a young fella growing up in Cork, like does a fella's walk down the road when his arms are out like that and legs are, does that make you hard?
My head it did. Like, yeah, if I saw you walking down the road like that,
you're hard. Like.
I would do the same. Then this cunt isn't as hard as me.
So I remember being at the European Juniors, and I can remember in particular watching this Italian guy going around, and he looked like, we can't say it now, like it's a term of endearment. It's like going, fucking man looks like and he ended up lapping me twice, and it blew my mind that somebody who just normally doesn't look a bit tough, was very unassuming and kind of
talented
nerd, and I started, oh my God, this is different. I got destroyed, and I came home from there then, and I declined a running scholarship, and I said I wanted to do this, and whereas what was the question? My head is gone.
20. The question.
Oh, so 2020.
Yeah. So what was your life like? We'll say. Then?
I was exposed to all of that, and then when I went to the polls, I was very regimented. Like if I got windows to break out and go mad, I would do it.
Yeah.
But it was
Have
tough.
you more freedom now? So we'll say, like, your day to day now.
I do, like, but you know what? I wouldn't change it. I fucking loved it, but like I with Marion was obviously competing, and I brought that professional lifestyle into my house and even with my kids, and it was very tough. Very tough. And Mara, when she retired, it was like there was no excuses. Like, if the Russians are doing it this way with doping, what way do I need to live my life in Cork? And I was living. It was tough, like, but it wasn't to me at the time.
Well, it worked
so sometimes when you go to, so when you go back to the awards, you feel like going back and apologising to people.
Yeah.
I wasn't a prick, but I was just completely driven in what I wanted to do.
You see it all the time, though, Rob. You have to be a certain bit of a fuck. Like, you see it, like, even just like, I'm just thinking now out loud. Do you ever see that documentary on Netflix with the Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls thing?
I watched some of it, and I'm watching them because I've lived that life, like, and even the Ingebrigtsen documentary when I was on, and I was watching them going, oh boys, I know exactly what that life is, and he came across as a prick in it. But I
you
know
have to be like that, though, to be at the very
but it's
top.
still not putting it out in the public because they don't understand. You have to. It's hard. So. Yeah, it is like training. Like, I get up, I'd have my breakfast, I'd do all my rehab and prehab stuff, and probably get massage most days before training and stretching, doing my training.
Any happy endings or? Like, I had massages all the time, and 20 years ago as well.
Then you come home, do your training, come home, have your lunch, go to bed, you're back training again in the evening, and everything is about recovery. Like,
would you probably like for me looking at that now, because like 20 years ago when like I was living in London, I was drinking the shit out of it, I was doing recreational drugs all the time, I pissed all my vibrancy up against the walls of East London trying to get my hole. You know what I mean? That was my, like, that was honestly, and I'm even in my new show now, there's a bit of regret in it, because I'm talking about, because my friends were all playing GA back at home, and I was playing with them growing up, and I thought I was having a great time, but like I look back and I'm like, they've got North Cork medals, and they're talking about battles that they were in together, and like, I think that there is.
I still think you could do all of them things, and if I coach you, you be involved with the team.
I want to play.
Do the wall or something. But
I John Cleary's number there. I want to give him a call.
You can still do them things, but at different times of the year.
Yeah.
Like they would like. It's human nature.
You didn't miss out.
Men want to drink, and they want to ride, and they want to do all of them things. But there's a time of the year.
That was my fucking problem.
Yeah,
I wanted
you just
to do that
you didn't have the right direction.
But I probably didn't, though, Rob. I probably didn't, and it's like, but it's a testament to you, though, because as you have said, like, you grew up in kind of, like, difficult circumstances, working class Cork, like the opportunity. There wasn't people coming to your door every day going, "Hi, Rob, do you want to come out there and fucking?" You had to grind for it, like, and that makes it, in my opinion, all the more admirable. It takes a certain mental strength and mental clarity. That's what I was saying about, like, I was only using Michael Jordan as an example. Like, to be at the very best, to be at the very top, you need that mental toughness. Like,
but you don't know you have it.
You might know.
Yeah, it's just happening, because you be trying to coach the kids, or like I'd be coaching kids there, and it's sometimes you see fellas there, and it's when they go on the line, and they're saying it now, like, there's a different, like, there's the performance. So like you on stage, there's you could be the normal kind of home with your family and your kids, and then you could be on stage and you could come to life. There's fellas like that in sport. They express themselves massively when they compete. So if you have your work done or if you have your content rehearsed, once you get out there, then you'll shine.
You just enjoy it.
And some fellas can do all of that, and they'll go up the stage and they'll shit themselves. It's the same as sport.
Yeah.
So
that's true. I didn't think of it like that.
And you don't know you have it. It's probably a talent you have unknowns to yourself, know, because other fellas can do it, and it doesn't matter how much training. And I remember bumping into Jack O'Connor down in Fota one year.
You didn't bump into him half hard enough.
And I'm up at the bar, and I'm up having a pint. It was off season. And I thought, we were down there for something, me and Mar. And I went off up to the bar anyway, because I fucking love Fota. And this fella was at the bar, and he fucking says, "Hey, how's it going?" I said, I don't want to talk to no fucker, no. I says, "How's it going?" He says, you're the Walker fella, yeah? And then I'm there, for fuck's sake, like, I just want to have a fucking pint on my own. I says, yeah, and he says, and your wife does a bit of sport as well. And I says, yeah. I says, do you do anything yourself? He says, are you involved in football? And I says, oh, seriously? He goes, I coach my young fellas under 12 team in St. Michael's as well. I says, I love football, like, I just didn't want to talk about. And I says, who are you involved with? He's there, I'm with the Kerry Miners there. And I said, oh yeah. I said, what's your Jack O'Connor? And I was like, he was with the Kerry Miners that day. They were staying in Fota, and we had that conversation. He says, like, you could prepare him for everything. You bring a fellow out to Crow Park, and some fellas just will never have it. And we had a great chat then. He was actually a really good character to chat to.
Well, he's arguably...
You see, people think he's a prick because he's probably so competitive.
But you have to be. I think you have to have that ruthlessness.
And to be fair, he was sound and... well, he's good company, like.
I mean, bar the fact that he's been so successful for Kerry, like, you kind of like him. Do you know?
Yeah, I know, that's it. Like,
but you know what I mean? But all jokes aside, though, he is probably more successful than Miko. Like, I mean, he's won multiple senior All-Irelands, under 20
There's an
All-Irelands.
edge to the fucker, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
You can see it on the awards this year. You're a prick.
Yeah.
And then I say, no, but you actually liked him, Rob. You met him. No, he's a prick.
But he's got that kind of old scowl that he's like, you'll ask him a question and he'll be like, what you mean?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We won the game, like. You're fuck off. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you're just like, but that's... You need that bit of cut and trust. You need personality as well, and he's got personality like fucking...
So if you could separate the kind of performer with it, and afterwards you could still be a normal person, but he could be a prick in that world.
Sure, look, we're all bits of pricks at times to time. This is going great, lads. 55 minutes. What's your ideal day on the sauce like?
Oh, that's a good question. We were chatting beforehand. Do you know when...
You've €100 in your back pocket. You're going out with your buddy.
I do love, like...
Where are you going? And tell me everything. And don't leave anything
even out. In Cork, and I'm looking at, like... I do love them pokey pubs. Like, I love, like, when Carl comes home at Christmas, like up in, like, the Castle's a great pub. The Chenet's a great pub.
The Oval's a great pub.
The Oval's a great pub. I was up in Chenet on Christmas Eve last year with the Roundy's a great pub with Marty Morrissey and my friend Sean and Cahill, and we had a fucking lovely few pints up there. What's the one in McCurtain Street?
Oh,
not the Shelbourne, up from the Shelbourne. Dan Lowry's.
Yeah, Dan Lowry's another lovely pub.
Yeah, I love
a bowl of soup inside there and a sandwich and a big dirty pint of Guinness.
Even on my stag, Connie, like I fucking love going for a blow. Like, even on my stag, when you said fellas going away getting married and they're going off the fucking places, the strippers and stuff, you're getting married. I went to Dingle.
Yeah.
And I'd love just fucking pints and a sing song.
Like down there. They're all playing football. Foxy.
But yeah.
Dingle's a mighty spot.
Great spot.
Oh my God. What a place to go on the session.
I love it, yeah.
I love it. My favourite day of the week to go on the sauce is a Monday. I love a Monday.
Yeah.
A Monday or a Sunday night. I love those 2 days.
It's the ripple effect afterwards. Like,
yeah.
I've got a bit better, like, but there's always a risk that I'd be thrown. I remember with Marion one night and fucking on the sauce, and we had an argument anyway. She went away home and I stayed out. This is years ago now, we were living in Douglas. And she went away fucking and she locked me out of the house. But I had a log cabin out the back, and I built the log cabin out the back because I put an altitude tent there when I was training. And the couch that I have in my front room was out. It was like a house, little house. So I went to sleep in the couch, and I came in the next morning and the back door came into the kitchen. They were all, I said, how's it going? So I forgot all about it. Like, the fucker locked me out. She wouldn't have let me in. So it used to be dangerous when I went on the sauce, especially when I was competing. If there was windows,
you have to leave air out of the tyre.
If there was a window when I was training so hard, I'd fucking be gone. Like, do you know what I mean?
What would you be drinking now? Like, you're going out there now tomorrow. You're going out with Cahill now. Christmas. What are you drinking?
I drink Murphy's, like. Yeah, I'd have a few pints of stout, like. Yeah.
And would you have a small one at the end of the evening? Or would you try and...
It could happen, like, yeah.
I'm done now these days, and I mean properly done, after 4 pints. I can't drink anymore.
Really?
I swear to God, 4 pints now, and I'm absolutely done. I have to, if I'm going on, if I'm going out with the lads, if I'm going for a few pints, I'll have to throw a 0-0 in there somewhere.
Would you?
I have to, or or I'll have to try and get a pint of water in. Otherwise,
I think at our age, if you're going to go for a lash of pints now, though, you have to be prepared to take the hit. So it has to be good company, good occasion. It's just the normal going out
the
for
right pubs.
It has to be the right place, the right setting. I don't think I've no urge to just go down and have 7 or 8 pints somewhere.
Yeah.
If even on, you know, when you're allowed and it does nothing. My mind needs to be stimulated with a bit of crack, bit of company. And if you wake up the next day, then you go, fuck it, sure, we had a great laugh. The Welcome Inn is a great pub.
The Welcome Inn is owned by Ballyclaw, man.
Is it?
Yeah, Christy, shout out to Christy.
Yeah.
There's a sign for Ballyclaw inside the Welcome Inn. That's the only, I think is that the only early house that's left in Cork now?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I've often been in there. Early and late. The Cork, okay, question 4, right? The Cork football project, right? What was your role with Cork?
I was kind of performance coach, so I was working in tandem with the sports psychologist, Kevin Walsh, who was brilliant as well. So I used to meet the lads individually and chat to them, and I just, you know, tried to bring in more of a professional mindset and normalising that lifestyle. And to be fair, they were good. It does take time, like, it takes time to embed a culture as well.
There's a lot of I was listening to a podcast there. What's his name? The former Mayo manager. He talks a bit like this. How are you doing? What's your name? Can't afford. What's his name? Fucking, I can't think of his name. But anyway, he was going on about
not
culture.
Kevin McStay, was it?
No, not.
No, is he?
Is Kevin McStay dead? Is he?
No.
Jesus Christ! I hope he's not.
Yes, good news.
And if he is. God, rest in peace, Kevin. What was his name? I can't think of his name. John, I think I was saying. We'll call him John anyway.
John, all right.
But he was going on about culture in the dressing room, about team culture in the dressing room, and I found it fascinating because, like, when you were growing up, there, you know, you were on the team or you were off the team, and there wasn't much of, like, you'd go training and then you'd go away from training. But, like, I'd imagine with intercounty that you have to build a brotherhood in a dressing room, and I think that must be a difficult thing to do when you have, like, Cork is huge.
It's huge, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's, like, on that team, there's lads from Mallow, there's lads from West Cork, there's lads from the city, from different, like, and you know what yourself, you grew up in Toker, right? I grew up in Ballyclaw village, right? My childhood was in the same era as yours, but definitely different. I had my struggles, you had your struggles. I had my fears, you had your fears, but there's a lot of differences there. But trying to mould lads into the same wavelength. But I think if you can do that, or when you do that, it definitely has.
I think they have it though, you know. Like, I felt that I had a small part because there's so many voices there and there's so many good guys there as well. And you're always conscious that you don't want to be over talking or just saying stuff for the sake of it. So sometimes I used to fucking feel, I'm not doing anything here, you know. And you're nearly waiting for fellas to come to you. So you'd naturally bond in with fellas. Like Brian O'Driscoll, for argument's sake, is so high performer. He's always looking for the edge, you know.
Really?
Yeah, always. He's brilliant.
Well, he's best, in my opinion.
Dan O'Mahony, these guys, like Dan O'Mahony, like you see these guys togged out, like not togged out. They're fucking like you could grate cheese off him. Like
what is he? 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, he's a specimen. Like, but they're fully in it. But I tell you, the bond within the boys, and I don't know, but from talk, I reckon the footballers' approach sometimes results can paper over cracks. The footballers, I could genuinely say there's no stone unturned. Like,
I believe it.
They do absolutely everything. They're fully committed. I think it's so competitive. There's so many football counties that are good and they invest so much in it now. But I think the lads have gone through a lot together over the last few years, and the fact, I think if you're going to come back and get involved in that setup, and even fellas who moved in and out of the setup, and when the papers write about them, I'm looking at it and you can't ever make any comments on anybody, but some of the fellas who walked away, they wouldn't have come in near the team anyway. And they didn't have what it took to play intercounty level, because when you're involved and you're looking at it, it's like going, no, but papers can write stories about it.
Well, they'll never refuse ink.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
and now and even now today, like everyone's a journalist on TikTok now, you know.
Yeah.
You have lads going, and I was at the match, and this fellow was useless. And at the end of the day, they're humans, like, do you know what I mean? They're human beings, and they're doing their best.
There's so much detail, Condo. It's like Kevin Walsh is brilliant. Like,
Is he originally from Galway?
He's Galway, man.
Yeah.
But he's his mind is so crafty for competition and for coaching, and he's lived like every single scenario and detail you could think of. They go through absolutely everything.
Really?
So sometimes it just comes down to breaks and fellas believing in themselves and kind of ultimately going, no, we can do it. You know, and them magic. You look at Meath this year, like, they were fucking gone. Like, you look at Tipperary hurlers, like they had no right to win any All Ireland.
You're the underdog, man.
Yeah, these things happen, and you know, and then the whole narrative and the whole history and the perception of a team can change. And
what was it like being like? I'd love to be a fly in the wall in the Cork dressing room, half-time knockout, like against Meath. I was above in the Meath match this year. It was above in Navan. Do you remember the second half? It fucking was absolutely fucking biblical. The rain came down, and Cork were in at half-time. Meath pulled away from us in the second half. But like, I saw that day, I genuinely saw, I was like, this Cork team are not that far away.
No, they're not. No.
They're not that far away. For me, and I'm just being honest now, right? Like I think we're possibly a marquee forward or two away.
And that's all it is.
And that's all.
It's a marquee. You look at David Clifford, he's big, he's strong, he can break lines, he can play football. Like, he's a freak of a player.
Yeah.
But you throw in two of them guys to Cork, and it's a completely different. It was no different to Cork City when Shawnee Maguire was firing back in the day. Shawnee Maguire came out of that Cork City team, and it went downhill really quickly. So you have one really good marquee forward, and the potential for the players are there. Like you get a Cathal O'Mahony fully fit with a full winter.
Corbett from
Corbett. If he
Sherlock is back this year now.
Is Sherlock back? You get them guys fully fit with no break. But the key is, I think, for them guys, you can't have any break in training, because when you're working, and I see it, that's the big thing I see with the footballers. If you're working and then you get injured and you're stopping a week, you're always taking 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. You're not making any progress. And then when you've the end of the year, when there's a big break, and if you look at it kind of objectively, it's like, how are they progressing physically? Unless somebody takes the bull by the horns and kind of go, I'm going to have a look at a year as a whole. I'm going to really mind myself. I'm going to have a look at periods and work. And this is probably where my mentality would have been mad for some of the players. I would have fucking booking time off work and becoming a full-time player.
If you were them.
Yeah.
Rob, I think it's literally what you were saying there when you were saying you were 27, that you took control of the house, you regimented it.
Yeah.
I think that's what you have to be.
If I was a footballer, I would rent a house in Blackrock, I would invest in myself, and I'd go full time, like, because you have to be, that's the level that it's got to, like, you have to be a full time athlete.
Yeah.
And you say that to some of them and they would laugh at you. But
people want the work-life balance.
And it's not, but
you can have a work-life balance, but you can't have a I
would do what I'd have to do to survive, like, you know, no difference. Like, I did Dancing with the Stars. I did 10 hours a day in studio because I didn't want to make a fool out of myself in television.
A few steps there?
No, I still can't dance. Like, I could learn steps, but I would. That's the level it's got to, like, because if you're getting injured, it's like, why are you getting injured? It could be like somebody like Rory Dean driving from Beara up to Cork 3 days a week, and then a match at the weekend.
And
you
like,
know?
that drive is not great either.
And I tell you, he's the fucking soundest, most honest man you'd ever meet, and he'll just do it. And then he's teaching all day in school. So it's hard. And I know a lot of them do it, but
I honestly, I have to say, and I would feel that I'm really invested in that Cork football team.
They're as invested in you know as well, to be fair.
No, I love them. I do. I love them.
They do know the boys enjoy you, like.
And I do. I'm looking. I've already looked at the, like, we've a WhatsApp group now. We're talking about going to the Derry match. We're away to Derry now as kind of
some drive, isn't it?
Well, I was up there last week, and it's just what a great spot. But I'm already thinking maybe if I can get a gig up, if I can try and get a gig up there the night before, and then get the driving out of the way, and do you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
But like, I do think we're a marquee forward or two away, because also what that does then is it fucking creates space for the other lads, you know.
That could be Conor Corbett being healthy this year, like.
It could be.
Like, he's brilliant.
David Buckley for Newcestown, I think he's been he's there.
Bucks is gone though, is he?
I heard he was gone to America, and then I read in the Echo there last week that he's not gone to America.
Right.
But I saw him shoot the lights out now.
German. Because Sean Walsh was a breath of fresh air this year.
Sean Walsh he's what I think that David Buckley could be to Cork this year. Sean Walsh, or fucking came out of nowhere from Mallow and was unreal.
But he's as honest as the day, as long as well. Like, he's a proper hard man. Like, you know, he's the nicest fella you meet him off. He looks like a big hard man, but he's such a good guy. Like, you know, but he's.
We need to
I think he'd be better again this year. Yeah,
we need to get.
I'd be looking at periods of the year if I was, and I kind of go. I think the profile of the players for companies, say PwC or Grant Turner or these boys, if you've Cork footballers with them, leave them fucking have 3 or 4 months of the year off, because the promotion that your company will get by leaving these guys be full time, it will work together. It'll work. The brand of the company will grow. I think the more companies who can do that, the better. It's for the sport.
Do you know what? I'm toying in my head with this over the last couple of weeks, because I've seen there with Kieran MacDonald, this young fella, is going to Australia there. What's his name now? Troy, is it, or something like that? Is it Troy?
Who's he?
Kieran MacDonald, he played for Mayo.
For Mayo, yeah. Blondie fella.
Blondie, swashbuckler. He's young fella now, is supposed to be like David Clifford-esque.
Go away.
He's 6'3", 6'4".
He wore the white boots, didn't he?
Sure, he was amazing.
Yeah, he was some player,
He was like real, like, you know, it was a man's game back then, like, you know, like, but he was swashbuckling and stylish.
Yeah, he was.
The outside of the left boot over the bar, stuff like that. But he's young fella's supposed to be an Adonis, like an amazing footballer. But he's after being poached now, along with another couple of lads.
And it's hard to say no to that life.
Professional life.
Do you know, professional sport life? It's the best life, like, because you can fucking make money for, like, these guys make. That's what I would say. Like, you can make money for the rest of your life. You know, you could be doing gigs for the rest of your life. You have maybe 4 or 5 years where you could fully commit to being an inter-county player, and afterwards evaluate. And, you know, you could work at certain times of the year, but that's where my head would be. If I was an inter-county player and if I was young again, I would go, no, I'm all in here. And if people are, I don't give a fuck what people are saying. This is what needs to be done for me to be the best. And you just raise the standard of everything.
I think that's the way it works, though, isn't it? One person does that. Paul Galvin was like that for Kerry as well.
Was he?
He was like, it was his whole life. He was a teacher, but like he was like, I think he actually gave up teaching then after a while and just was like full time at the football. It is
it's like just proper recovery. You know, it's just mental and physical, like, that you're able to go back and just be relentless all the time.
Sleeping, were you into the sleeping?
Yeah, I slept. I used to have to sleep 2 hours a day. Like we were so, when you come back onto that subject, like, even when our kids were playing, like, obviously Carl played for Ireland, Megan played for Ireland, she won national medals, really good athletes as kids as well. And Marion wouldn't let me go to Cahill's games, like, because the energy that it would take. When the year she was helping me in Moscow, she says, I'm not helping you if you're fucking going to, because you're going to be chatting to people on the sideline. And it was all energy. And there was a period I'd have to sleep for 2 hours during the day before I train again, so that you would have that recovery effect.
Fuck, that's fascinating.
Yeah, every day. And I hated it, I hated training twice a day.
Yeah.
But it was always a means to an end for me, like.
That is, you know, very interesting.
When I hear you at the start on about drinking your greens, I was very, like, I'd have drinking my own piss if I knew it was good for me. I'd have a block in my nose and drinking it.
If you have a sample there, I'll have a taste.
But I used to grow wheatgrass in my hot press at home. And have it on the window, and then I got a juicer for that.
But you used to grow wheatgrass?
Yeah.
Man, you were obsessed.
You
were fucking like, because I know the benefits of wheatgrass, and I like
obsessed.
To get a shot of wheatgrass, you're like fucking wrong.
Yeah. So everything, like shots of fucking beetroot, everything, all of the vitamins when I was taking them, my amino acids after training, every single thing was that I can recover, so that I can train harder and recover. And be better, and being away from people, isolating myself because I'm fucking wired around people, that I'd have to put myself in them spaces and stay. And people would think you're odd then as well, but that's just what I had to do.
Sure, look, fuck them. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you have to live your own life. You have you're the person who's standing on that starting line and having to go through it. Like you can't. Like it's the same in. I think it's the, like I know myself in comedy. There'll be people that'll wish you well, and there'll be people that'll fucking wish that you fucking die in your hole. You know what I mean? And you can't change other people's opinions. You can only fucking go for yourself. And then if you do well, then you can look back and just go, look at me now.
I know, and I've seen it. Like I've seen loads of guys in sport who are really talented, and they're afraid to make strong moves in case they upset people. And then the next thing, 10 years have gone and they've done nothing with their careers. And it's very sad.
Yeah.
You know, and I see it all. I've seen it so many times over the years.
Bravery.
That they don't want to upset a coach or upset this person, and then the next thing is like going, you're so fucking stupid. Like, you know,
sure,
like I fired Korjanowski. He was my coach in 2009. Imagine.
You fired him.
Just like we came to a point and it was like, no,
Yeah.
And when I left him, and he's still the person I admire most in the world, like, he brilliant man, speaks 6 languages, came tough Polish fella, really smart, won everything. But I came to a point where it's like, oh no, he doesn't think that I can be this, because he's seen me coming from here up to here, and I had to break away from him, and I say, right, now I need to create my whole team and I need to excel more. But he was the first person to come back and congratulate me.
That's some self-awareness though.
Yeah.
Like, when you're living in that bubble, you have to have you have to have the ego, obviously, and the dedication and the madness. There's a type of madness there now to be growing fucking wheat.
Yeah.
What's inside there? That's just Rob's wheatgrass there inside. Yeah, I'll just take an underpants there behind it. Do you know what I mean? But there's a madness involved in that.
No, there is,
that you have to have, like.
So I had an altitude tent out in the log cabin out the back, like.
Yeah.
But my rationale was like going, mentally, if I can do an altitude stint in Cork and be around my family, I was happier as well. You know, and Cahill would have been out in the altitude, and a lot of it was great as well, like, because you could fucking stay out of the house, like, and you're out there watching box sets after training, and Cahill, do you know it?
Yeah.
But you're still always looking for the edge.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that the thing that's that separates the. Because you see, like, looking for the edge is one thing, right? And I'd say if you're a Cork footballer or a Cork hurler now, I'd imagine that they're, as you said at the start, they're probably turning over every single stone that's going.
To a point, and then sometimes you have to be able to think outside the box and outside the group and what you have to do. Because, like, even if I go into schools and you ask a question and somebody gives the answer and you go, who's it? And people will look around, and the more hands that go up, more the other hands go up. It's just a real, that group effect. But it's very hard for somebody to kind of, like, even with Robert that time, I finished 8th in the Olympics in Beijing, and he said, you know, he was coaching me, Paco and Ilya. Paco was 7, he goes, disaster for you, you were meant to win. Ilya Markov was a Russian, he was 16th, and he says, it's the end of the road for you, you know, you had a great career. Which he did, he was older, he was 35, won an Olympic medal, won the World Championships. And then he says, but Robbie, you know, for you, and I hated being called Robbie, but I was half afraid of him. He says, this is really good result. And I say, I fucking, like, set the 7th fastest time in history, and it was only Marion, when she was staying in the hospital, like, no, you're better than that. And the next year was really bad, and I just, got rid of him, like, you know.
Oh my God, an hour and 15. This is amazing. I really do want to ask you these 2 questions.
All right, go on.
So, I outlined your credentials at the start. In 2010, you got in the 20k. Was it bronze?
I was 4th in both races, but one of the Russians was done afterwards.
Did it happen twice?
It happened in London and in Barcelona.
And you got upgraded then. You shouldn't have got upgraded. You rightly won the thing. So, for those of people who don't know, you finished 4 I
finished 4th in the 20k, and I finished 4th in the 50k 2 days later. And do you know what? There should have fucking been, like, in the 50k, I should have been upgraded as well, because that Russian Bakulin was done for 8 years and he just missed the window of being disqualified, and he wasn't. So he won a medal. So I should have had a medal from the 50k as well. And then in the 20k, you had Stanislav, another Russian who won it. He was banned. So I was upgraded to 3rd. But Alex Schwarzer was 2nd, the Italian, and he was banned at another stage as well. And he was actually, I got documentation off an Italian athlete saying that he should have been done as well in Barcelona, but it just never transpired. So I should have been pushed up to 2nd, and I should have had bronze for the 50k. But do you know what, Con?
I know. You have to wash that off. But I suppose the hard part there, obviously, is you're talking to me now about, like, unbelievable sacrifices that you've had to make in your life, right? And then some cunt comes along and fucking takes whatever he takes, right? Not recreationally. I have no problem if you're having an old smoke of a doob. Do you know what I mean? But, like, do you know what I mean? And, like, you don't get to stand on the podium and hear Aran Navian, which you couldn't sing anyway, so it didn't make a difference.
Yeah, it didn't make a difference,
you know?
no.
But you know what I mean? Like that's a fucking huge thing. Like, did that hurt your soul, right?
No, because, like, I remember the 20k that day, Joe Vieira, the Portuguese guy, finished 3rd. And I was fucking really annoyed, because I was good enough to beat him that day. And he got the better of me tactically, like, and that really ate at me. But then when I raced the 50k a couple of days later, and the only reason I raced the 50k, right, and you might relate to this part now. So normally when the 20k was done at championships, I was fucking gone. Like, I was gone straight on the points. Because you'd be off for months. I was gone.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, like when I was disqualified in the Olympics in Athens, me and my buddy Ray, God rest him, he's dead now. Like, we went gone. I was disqualified. The race was still going on, and I was in a bar drinking, and we ended up in a strip club in Athens that night, and there's strippers come. I don't fucking want you. We just need drink. Every place is closed. We just need to talk, fucking crying and
Could you
reflecting.
not gone to a different bar?
Like, there was no one. They were closed. They were closed, and there was no bother. But afterwards, they tried to charge us like 500 quid.
I'd have felt guilty. I'd have looked, if you want to give me a dance, give me one.
That fucking night, it was like, no, so upset. Like, but back to Barcelona, yeah, so the 50k was on a couple of days later, but Marion was running the day after I did the 20k, and I qualified for a 50k earlier on that year. I raced a 50k in Slovakia, and I said, I can't go out. I'm qualified for it. Might as well. And I had such a fucking good race. I broke the Irish record by 5 minutes. And I couldn't walk by 5 minutes.
That seems like a lot, Rob.
But so then I discovered, like, I ended up fourth, but I executed my race was so good. So good the way I came through. And Korjanowski came over to me afterwards, who I after firing a couple of years out, and he gave me a hug and he said, you'll win a medal in London. And in the Olympics, he said, and I'm like going, how can I fucking go from a couple of years ago when you go, I could never do 50k because I'm too distracted by things.
Sometimes you have to hold on to that kind of stuff as well.
But I was genuinely delighted for you. So it was. So I never got bitter over scenarios. I always looked at the positives, like, do you know?
I'm not surprised, because I've been swallowed up with bitterness and gone on the sauce and never gone back. But that's a test of the mental. But that is the elite mindset, like, that you don't let, that you're like, fuck it, that didn't go my way. What can I do tomorrow to make it go my way the next
that's
day?
where my head was like going, what can I do better?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm here and I can still improve all of these areas, that's where my head would have always been, you know? And,
that's the elite mindset. That is what separates.
And then you have to be willing to do it then. But I'd never forget then,
to be able to
like,
do it.
And kind of bring back onto the table all of the good things that you did, because sometimes you do a load of good stuff and you're trying to improve the other stuff, and you dismiss the good stuff that you were doing. So having the kind of awareness and the talent to kind of go, I did X, Y and Z good. If I do these other two things, by default, I should be back here and a little bit better if I can bring that
You'd be a little bit
motivation
more wise as well, yeah.
But you still have to have the dog in you. If that's gone,
does the dog go then?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
When did the dog? What year did the dog go from you?
After when I won the
Moscow,
the next year I was brilliant. Like, I had the mentality the next year. I was like going, I'm not going to be the Seamus Darby of athletics, win the world championships and fucking celebrate it. Like, do you know what I mean? No, and I said, I'm going to be able to compare back to Korjanowski. Said I'm going to compartmentalise everything. I could do my sport. I'm going to do the corporate stuff. I'm going to fucking secure a house for my family. I'm going to do all of that. And I said, no, I'm smart enough to do it. I know I can do it. And Marion was like going, Rob, you just need to concentrate on your fucking athletics. And I says, Mar, no, because my head has gone back to when I'm back on the building site with my brother. And I said, no. So I can remember doing a gig up in Roscommon one time. I was doing awards up there, getting paid good money, you know, like, go up, do the awards, give a talk, stay in the hotel, jump back in the car at 6 a.m, drive back down to Little Island and do 30k around Little Island. And I had loads of stuff like that year. And then I went to the European Championships and I dropped out for the first time ever. I ended up having 2 hernias again. So I was really hungry that year. The next year then I went to Worlds, I was 5th. Went to the Olympics, I was 6th. And then after that I just was like going, do you know, when you're putting in all of the work and you just know that it's starting to dwindle a little bit. And like, I can remember in London, like, going up the fucking mall and a Russian Kanaikin said something to me. And I always say, I don't know if I said it to his face or was it in my head, but I felt it. It was like going, if you fucking open your mouth to me again, I'm going to hop you off the barrier. We're all about to be the same size. But really believed it. Yeah. So I didn't need to say it. I believed it and I was calm. But I remember getting to the latter years, the last year, and if I was against someone, you were looking for all of the reasons, like, oh, he's on drugs, he's stronger, or, you know. And
looking for the excuses.
Yeah. And my last year in London, I finished, I was 7th in London.
And it's 16, is it?
2017.
17.
And I was saying, I'm going to go to London and maybe it's going to be like the Olympics in 2012. And it was like, I don't know, comparing your best gig. Say you had an unbelievable gig in the Everyman, you go back, and it just, none of it felt the same.
Yeah.
But I was after still doing all of the work.
Yeah.
I still delivered the performance, but I had no feeling.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm
That
done.
always interests me when
Yeah.
you have that feeling, when you're like, when you've been obsessed your whole life, you've done everything, you've been growing wheatgrass inside the fucking the
Education's
cupboard,
not good, like.
you know. But
Better off being an animal, like.
yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for having that fucking absolute guttural desire that I don't give a fuck. I'm giving it up. I'm going playing football for Cork. I'm not going to work. I'll be working.
Because you can rationalise all of the correct answers. Go, no, but I've my correct. Scrand, by. Scrand.
The question that I have, right, is so in 2012, that's the Olympics, right? So you finish fourth. And then it's upgraded to third because your man was doping, right? The following year, you hadn't won. Am I right in saying no? You hadn't.
So I had no podium moment.
You had no
at that
podium
point,
moment at this stage. The following year, the World Championships take place
In Moscow.
in the home of doping.
Of doping, yeah.
Right, and is it 20 or 50?
50.
It's 50, which is what you were just saying there. You had done.
I did 20 and 50 in London, but then I just went solely 50 for Moscow.
Did your mindset change? Going, I think 50 is my one.
No, I know what I said. I still felt with the 20, like if I could walk 20k in 79 minutes, which is sub 4 minute Ks, when you have to go back then and do 4:15 a K for 50k, 4:19, it feels easier. You have a lot more control, and it makes you feel stronger, and you've more presence. It's like, you know, it's so. But I was after London. I had a conversation with Marion and the kids. I was out in Belmedina. We were in the swimming pool, and I said to Cathal and Megan, "Look, fuck it, I says, I'll retire." And he goes, "No, Dad, we don't want you to." So then Marion turned around to me, and having beers now on holidays, and Marion ran in the Olympics. They did really well. They broke the Irish record on the way up to it. And Marion was retiring because we wanted to have another baby. Like, so she ran that winter still. She ran 200s, but she said, "Look, Rob, I'll come in and I'll be your coach." Like, I could draw up all the programs, so I just needed somebody to help me with everything.
Execute
like,
it.
Yeah. And she says, "I'll come in as your coach. I'll do everything for you." And basically, Marion basically goes, bluntly, she goes, "You just shut the fuck up and train." Wow. And I'm there in the pool, can you imagine? Oh, your wife was saying, but I had to pretend I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was like a fucking Carlsberg conversation. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, I know, like, but it's, and I'm there, I'm like, going, it's fucking unreal. But Connie, I did nothing.
Yeah.
Like she did, I was like a baby in the house. She was doing my drinks in the morning for training. She did all my video analysis, did all of my physiotherapy, did all, cycle with me on the bike, did everything. It's so fucking sick.
Is this in the lead in now to Moscow?
Up to Moscow. We went to Australia because my mum passed away in 2011 when I was over at the World Championships in Korea, and that was a fucking awful time. So we went to Australia, them winters, the train, December, January. Mar did everything with me, and it was only when I went into the normal workplace after sport that I would 100% be fired in every fucking workplace for the way I was. And, you know,
because you weren't used, you didn't know how to operate in that world, like.
And like no, it was tough because even when Mara was coaching me, like I remember Brendan Boyce's wife, I coached him to 3 Olympics. She said to me one day, we were down in Foro one day, and I gave out to Marion for not giving me a drink. And the reason I can get a drink, we'd get a drink every 2K, was because she was breastfeeding one of the kids, like. But you're fucking
not good enough, Marion.
It's not good enough, Connie. Like,
was that your mindset?
Like, yeah, no, I was like, but you're so
I know,
like,
though.
What are you going to say to a fucking Russian on the start? Like, I remember being with the 3 Russians in London, and they're hardy boys now, like, because it's not like in Ireland these fellas are talent ID'd and they're coming up in a system like with loads of other talented athletes. They're bigger and they're stronger, and they're the alpha males on the start line.
And they're not worried like you are about fucking money or anything. They've all the facilities.
No, they have everything.
Yeah.
And I can remember always being in the start line in London, and fucking American walkers are so bad, and the Russians, they're holding court, like. And I always remember being next to him. I remember turning around to the American lads. They just happened to be by us, and I said, "Fuck it." I goes, "The drugs must make you fares funny as well, because the boys are in great form." And everyone started laughing, but they were looking around, but it kind of took the control back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it brought, that's just
and you all knew
bravado.
that as you're fucking lining up in the thing as well.
But the only thing about it, you know, if you nail your plan and you do everything right, there's still a possibility three of them never perform. So when you go back to Cork footballers, if you just perform to your maximum ability on the day, you have a chance. But you have to perform. Like so when you go on about when the fourth, no, because I performed, I couldn't do any more in them days. And if I didn't perform, there'd have been 15 fellas in front of me. So I was always grateful that I always performed in my championships, that I was so good, whether I was 6th, 4th, 8th, I never had any jealousy. They were better than me. So that's where my head was at. And that year then with Mar- she was brilliant. Like,
So she trained you for
Moscow.
So in my head, right, Moscow for me, right, is like, do you know Rocky, the movie Rocky?
But that was my narrative in my head.
Was it the same as yours?
I said it.
And then Rocky
I'm
2.
Rocky going into.
And then, do you remember Rocky 3 with the dog?
Yeah.
Did you have that in your head?
I said it before, and it goes, because I built up in London, fucking mad stuff, because you have to motivate. It's like going, London is fucking, the Brits paying us back for the 800 years of what they've done, and now they've put on a home Olympics for us. Like, it was a home Olympics that we didn't have to pay for. Like, we were over and it was fucking brilliant. If you saw the race,
do you know that I was in London at the same time in Stratford? I was working in Stratford in a pub called the Princess of Wales, taking loads of cocaine. I could have been fucking friends with those Russians.
But I built up a thing in my head. It was like going, because the race was in front of Buckingham Palace. And I was like, going, imagine me winning a fucking Olympic medal in front of Buckingham Palace and waving to the Queen like, yeah, good job, hey. Do you know? But kind of bit of crack and but a bit of reality as well. And the same in Russia. It was like going, imagine going in here. If I'm in the shape that I'm in London, and I nailed all of my training like I did going into London, and I arrive in Russia with the same form, the same motivation, the same desire, I have a real good chance of winning a medal, because the likelihood is that the three of them won't perform. And even if they beat me, there's not that much pressure on me, because I just said, sure, they're on drugs anyway. So I took the pressure off.
Yeah.
And then even in Russia,
a weird way,
in a weird way,
like,
but you know, there's no. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting when you're playing Kerry in a championship game.
Yeah.
Do you know, in that sense, you know what you're going to get. So there's no kind of cloak and dagger stuff. You know what you're getting with the boys. And I always remember that day when you go back. I remember Rizov in Russia, and when I broke away from the group and he was 21, my mum's after dying a couple of years ago. I've gone through all of the near misses, forts, fucking been devastated. And I always remember my mentality was like going, I'm going to fucking drag you into deep water. I'll drown you. You're 21 years of age. I don't care if you're juiced up to your eyeballs. I'm going to put you into a fucking well of pain. You're too young to win.
This from me.
And to take it from me with what I've gone through. But just fully believed it, like.
How old were you in 2000?
I was 35.
Yeah, man.
Old, like. Do you know? Like, I think after my mum died,
That's
I
the
just
world
became cold, like.
Did you?
Yeah. It was like going...
Did it help you?
Yeah, it helped me with everything.
Yeah.
Because it just settled my brain.
Yeah.
And it was like going...
You just don't give a fuck, like.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Sure, if I don't fucking win, it's not for the want of not trying.
Yeah.
So I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And if I do all of my work, fucking off, I still want to win. No, I'm just useless. Do you know what I mean?
Well, do you know,
can't do anything,
I'll sign you
like.
up for the Junior Bs next year, we'll see. What did it feel like? So you're in the belly of the beast. These cunts had taken your joy in the Olympics. This is where I was coming from. I was like, pricks. Like, I know, okay, they have it, like, all things are equal except for the drugs, right? But they've taken your podium moment. You're in the belly of the beast. You win the gold as well. It's not the fucking bronze, which is great, and the silver is great, but to win the gold in the home of doping.
Connie,
I mean, you couldn't write it, Rob.
I used to go back to, because racewalk is so big in Russia and it's such a masculine country, and they're so good. Their history is so good. Like, they've won so many Worlds, Olympics. They invest so much. When I went back to the hotel, and I love that about sport as well. Like, all of the really tough Russian men were nearly genuflecting to me, like. And fucking nice fella. And there's a bit of a confusion with it. Like, you saying,
They're
was in
probably
the
lovely
hotel.
people individually, like.
And then I met him the next year, like on that point, it was easy to hate him.
Yeah.
Really easy to hate him. It just it was great when you raced them then, because they weren't real. They were
They were enemy.
I met the next year then, Rizov and the other fella, they finished first and second in the Europeans. They were behind me in Worlds, and I dropped out. So the world went upside down. And I'm in the hotel that night, and he came over and he shook my hand. He was about 6 foot, good bit taller than me, like, and he looked down. But I looked at his face, and he was so young. And he shook my hand and he asked me to sign an autograph for him. And I was like, even now, like, fucking goose pimples now, and I was all confused. I was like, oh fuck it, it's not meant to be like this at all. And Marion was pregnant, she was up in bed, and I went up to Mar, and I had the Russian singlet, and she said, go down as a sportsman and you be respectful and you fucking sign the thing and you respect. And we got chatting, right? You love this now. So there was the way the world is. So there was what's his name? The Ukrainian fella, Kovalenko. There was fucking Nazar Kovalenko, Ukrainian guy, and his friend, I don't know what was in it. And then there was Rizov and the other Russian. And we swapped Irish singlet and Russian singlet. And we went to, and I couldn't put up any of these photos at the time.
Strip club.
We went to a fucking nightclub inside in Zurich. And and we were chatting through the Kovalenko, who had English. And I was asking the boys, and their physio was there. And we were like, what's the story with the doping? And genuinely, they were point blank, we don't, like, you know. Because I just really think it's systematic, and the
they
country
probably don't even know.
They don't even know it.
Did you see that movie Icarus or that documentary Icarus?
Yeah. But see the pressure that came with that. Yeah. And I only seen that when I retired. But we went to a nightclub, and we're in a fucking nightclub in Zurich, we're drinking pints, and I had a Russian singlet on, and he had the Irish singlet on, and we're arm wrestling on a fucking table, mad stuff like. But he was a fierce, fucking lovely man, and he beat me as well, which I was freaked, steamed, no, like, but still freaked. But they were hardy. But I genuinely think it's not their choice. I think if an Irish athlete dopes, it's nearly 100 times worse. Yeah, because they're making the conscious decision to do it. But it's hard. It was hard because I met, and he'd still message me on Instagram and stuff, and you know, and even the stuff going on in Russia and Ukraine, and the Russian athletes who I'd be on, and I'd be watching them training and stuff. They're so good, but they're not happy with any of that.
No,
you know, they're normal people. We're all normal, like.
There's a thing now where you're allowed to take. There's some competition. My friend was saying.
Yeah, the enhanced games.
That's just basically you're allowed. Tommy Tiernan had a bit about that years ago, where everyone is just allowed to dope away and work away. That's in a way that's kind of a level. That's a kind of a leveler as well in a way. But like,
it's not. Again,
why can't they just take if you see? I suppose it's so.
But
hard.
you come back to our culture here, and you look back to the Cork teams winning, say, in 1990. They're heroes, nothing to do with money or that. They're heroes, like, and that's what real sport is. When you're gone over there, if you're in the prime of your career, because I know we were chatting about this in our podcast the other week, and Sonia got on and she goes, I can't believe you're condoning his behaviour, you know. But he got offered massive money, and he was after retiring from Olympic sports, and he's gone into that. So technically he's not cheating. I wouldn't do it during my career, because you're always looking at, I was obsessed with winning a medal.
You know what's on the table, like, is it Coke, is it E, is it what?
But what would you do if you're struggling, Connie, and you've no money, and they come in and they offer you 500 grand, and you're secure in your family's life?
Like, that's a no-brainer. I agree with you there.
It's a hard one, like.
Like, I mean, your morals are very important in life, right? But like, if you, like, what are more important to you? Your morals are keeping your family alive. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you might say one thing and do another thing to, like, it's not black and white. But anyway.
I still think it still comes back to the dog. Do you know, money doesn't buy that animal inside you, like. And like, even if you watch boxing and stuff, and like, I love, big boxing fan, when it goes from someone, their superpower is gone, like. Yeah. So I don't think money can buy that.
No, it can't. It can bring you into the arena, but it can't get you over the line, like, or it might not get you over the line. Yeah. Rob, lovely conversation. It is very long. Can you please answer this last question?
Okay.
So you have been arrested for a crime you didn't commit. Okay. You have been sentenced to death. It is happening tomorrow morning, but I'm after coming in. I'm saying, Rob, you can have a starter, a main course, and a dessert. Anything you want. What's your starter?
Would be chicken wings from, it was Soho, but no, it's Tequila Jack's.
Okay. What kind of sauce?
Suicidal.
What's suicidal? Hot?
It's hot. Fucking lovely. Not hot, lovely. Nearly similar to Frank's, but nicer.
Okay. You're having that to start with.
That's the start.
How many are in there now? You can have 9. You're dying tomorrow, like.
I want to enjoy the steak. Then afterwards, probably 9. The 9.
Okay,
don't
lovely.
like.
So you're getting a steak for the main. then?
Ribeye steak.
Okay.
Specifically ribeye.
Ribeye.
Yeah.
And what?
Maybe Wagyu beef would actually be better.
I had
a Wagyu steak.
I was
Unbelievable.
I had I was on the carnivore diet there at the start of the year, right?
Yeah, I
And
was following you.
This fella from Laois, Ballyroon Farm, shout out, send me about €1,000 worth of Wagyu beef.
Did he?
I swear to God.
Oh yeah.
It might have even been more. Like, I met him, I swear, I met him in a petrol station in Mallow.
Fucking thinking you slumming it in chicken wings and sausages.
He was like, he just asked me to shout out, like, Ballyroon Farms, get onto them for Wagyu beef. He was telling me about the embryos and all this kind of stuff. I was just like, just give me the meat there, right? But it is lovely. It's like butter.
It's unreal, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
Unreal.
So you'd have Wagyu steak. What would you have spuds at that then?
Yeah.
What kind of pepper sauce?
Yeah, maybe on the side. I don't want to ruin them all. Like, yeah.
Right, okay. And what do you have for your dessert?
Dessert. It's a tricky one, no? Like, I love cake, like, but it has to be the right one. And you're thinking after eating.
What kind of cake are we thinking? Red velvet, chocolate? Because I'll eat both.
Not chocolate for the dessert. Oh, fuck, I don't know. What would you suggest?
Cake? Well, I know what I'd have. I'd have apple crumble and custard and cream and 4 pints of Beamish beside it.
I'm a start like I'd always have a cake with a coffee in general, but I don't when I go to the restaurant.
I love is a slice of coffee cake with a cup of tea, even though it's kind of like a little bit weird to have. You should have coffee with a coffee cake, but
I'd probably get one of them. Just do you know them? You'd get them there in what's the coffee shop inside the Marina Market?
Oh yeah,
Alchemy.
Oh yes,
maybe one of them.
One of their buns, is it?
One of them little circle cakes. Lord, I got them for my birthday there now. I can't she'll kill me now because I love cake. One of them lemon cakes.
Lemon
maybe.
cake, lemon curd cake or something like that. Lovely.
Yeah.
Rob Heffernan, thank you so much for coming on to my podcast. And a bottle of wine. Red or white?
Red.
Yeah. And
Malbec.
Give him 2 bottles.
Yeah. You're fucked anyway.
Got a meal of maha, goodbye.
Johnny, thanks
Appreciate
very much.
you, brother.
Nice one.
Talk to you soon. Staying by the wall. Good night and God bless. Bye-bye. Boom.